हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्त प्रकरणस्य स्वाध्याये चर्चा पाठः 85तमात् वर्गात् आरभ्य अग्रे विद्यमानानां स्वाध्यायानाम् अद्य अध्ययनं करिष्यामः। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्ति परिभाव्य च वैयाकरण सिद्धान्त कौमुदीयं विरच्यते। So we have exercises 85, 86, 87 and 88. For exercise 85, the first question has been answered by Sumati ji. We don't have volunteer for the second question. So let's move to exercise 85. Now it turns out that Sumati ji has answered the question, but for some genuine reason, she is unable to present today. She is unable to discuss the answers, and therefore she has requested me to quickly walk through the answers. So I will not go through the entire stuff that she has written. It will be available for you to, for everyone to take a look at on the course portal. I'll just walk through the structure of the answer so that it will be easier to go through it later on. तत्र प्रारंभे सूत्रच्छेदः अस्ति। दोदद्घोः प्रथमं प्रश्नं पठामि। दोदद्घोः इत्यस्य चतुर्विध आदेश संगतिं पूर्वोत्तरपक्षयोः साहाय्येन विवृणुत. So we actually discussed this particular topic across two different classes. In the previous class, I discussed the Purva Paksha. In the next class, I discussed the Uttara Paksha. Tatra दोदद्घोः इत्यत्र दत्थ इति मूलरूपेण सूत्रच्छेदः अस्ति। तत्र अनुवृत्तिः अत्र लिखिता अस्ति। सूत्रार्थः सामान्यरूपेण कीदृशः सूत्रार्थः अस्ति सः अत्र लिखितः अस्ति। तदनन्तरम् अत्र चतुर्विध आदेशसङ्गतिम् इत्युक्ते तत्र मूलप्रश्नः दद इत्यत्र दत नो चेत् दथ नो चेत् दद नो चेत् दध कीदृशः आदेशः अस्ति। तत्र मूलरूपेण विदाउट एनी थिंकिंग, if you just apply simplest steps, you can see that सर्वत्र तत्र दत्त 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 इत्येव रूपं सिद्ध्यति। अतः सर्वत्र चर्त्वे कृते तत्र दत्त इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति। अतः चतुर्विध आदेशाः अपि तत्र साधवः एव इति प्रायः तत्र प्रतिभाति। परन्तु किञ्चित् अधिकं विस्तरेण चिन्तनं कुर्मश्चेत् तत्र केचन दोषाः अपि अस्माभिः ज्ञायन्ते। So we learned a karika tante dosho dirghatvam syat dante dosho nishthanatvam dhante dosho dhatva praptihi thante adoshaha tasmat thantaha. So out of the four pakshas, the takaranta paksha has some issues, dakaranta paksha has an issue, and dhakaranta paksha has an issue. The only paksha that is the error-free paksha is the thakaranta paksha, which does not have any issues. Let me zoom this in. I think this should be good enough for people to watch. So then tatra, so on the next lines there is a detailed, or just one second, let me just make full screen so that we have, okay. So on the next line, then she has discussed all these three pakshas in the details. So tante adeshah asti chet tantah adeshah asti chet kaha doshah, dantah asti chet kaha doshah, dhantah asti chet kaha doshah. So that is the Purva Paksha, and the conclusion of the Purva Paksha is that thante kapi apattihi nasti, atah ayam adeshah thantah ishyate iti Purva Paksha. And then comes the Uttara Paksha. We take each of these arguments and we refute these arguments. So tatra tante doshah कीदृशः अस्ति, उपसर्गस्य दीर्घादेशः इति तत्र दोषः। तत्र दस्ति इति सूत्रस्य अर्थपरिवर्तनं कुर्मश्चेत् तस्य दोषस्य निवारणं भवति। तदनन्तरं धान्तः नो चेत् दान्तः इत्यत्र कः दोषः, तत्र नकारादेशः नो चेत् धकारादेशः प्रत्ययस्य परिवर्तनं भवति इति तत्र आक्षेपः। सन्निपातपरिभाषायाः आश्रयं स्वीकृत्य तादृशं कार्यं न भवति इति तत्र समाधानम्। एतादृशं सर्वेषाम् अपि आदेशानां विषये, तकारान्तः दकारान्तः धकारान्तः आदेशः सर्वेषाणाम् अपि आदेशानां विषये तत्र कोऽपि दोषः न भवति इत्येव तत् निष्कर्षः। So the final conclusion is that चतुर्षु आदेशेषु कोऽपि आदेशः क्रियते चेत् न दोषाय. So you can go through the entire answer line by line. I have just summarized, I have captured the essence of this answer. The answer is very well written. You can actually take a look at it and follow later on. Then the second question, उपसर्गाणां निष्ठा प्रत्ययन्त शब्दैः अट्सन्धि कैकैः प्रकारैः भवितुम् अर्हति. So I have had a slide. Actually, this was a very simple question. You just had to copy paste the slide. So I did the same thing. There was a slide which I just copy pasted. Avarnantaha upasarga asti chet kim kim bhavati. Tadanantaram ivarnanta upasarga asti chet kim kim bhavati. Uvarnanta upasarga asti chet kim kim bhavati. So all that with the sutras and with the examples, it is written on the answer sheet. You can take a look at it. So that completes the discussion of exercise number, so 85. Let's now move on to exercise number 86. Both the questions have been answered by Chandrasekharanji. Very well written. So his answer sheets, typically, I don't have to even edit a single line. I just take a look at it and I say, you can represent them. So I'll just unmute Chandrasekhar Mahoday now. He can take it up. Namaste.
नमस्ते
Uchita.
अत्र अधो दत्तानि त्रिपादिकार्य विषयः अत्र अधो दत्तानि निष्ठाप्रत्ययान्तरूपाणि ससूत्रं साधयत इति ओप्यायी प्लस् त इति पीन इति अन्तिमं रूपं तत्र ओप्यायी इति ओदन्त ओ इति इत्वर्णः अपि च दीर्घ इकारः अपि इत्वर्णः प्याय् अनुबन्धलोपः भवति चेत् प्याय् अनन्तरं त श्वीदितो निष्ठायाम् इत्यनेन इण्निषेधः अस्ति इत्युक्ते ईदन्त धातुः अस्ति अतः अत्र इण्निषेधः अनन्तरं प्यायः पि इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारे परे प्यायः पि आदेशः तर्हि पि प्लस् त अनन्तरम् ओदितश्च इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारः पीन इति अनन्तरं भृ अनन्तरं भृ क्त अत्र भृ इति धातुः इदानीं श्रुयकः किति इति श्री अपि च उक् यत्र उगन्तधातवः तत्र निषेधः भवति इण्निषेधः भवति उगन्तधातूनाम् अत्र ऋकारः उक् प्रत्याहारे अस्ति इतः अनन्तरं उदोष्टपूर्वस्य इत्यनेन उकारादेशः ऋकारस्य उकारादेशः अनन्तरं रपरः बुर् अनन्तरं रदाभ्यां निष्ठातो न पूर्वस्य च दः इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः अनन्तरं हलिच इत्यनेन उकारस्य दीर्घः भूर्न इति णत्वं भूत्वा भूर्न इति रूपम् अनन्तरं व्रीङ् इति धातुः तत्र व्रीण इति अन्तिमं रूपम् अनुबन्धलोपानन्तरं स्वादयः ओदितः इत्यनेन इति एकं गणसूत्रम् अस्ति धातुपाठे तेन व्री धातुः अपि स्वादि गणे अस्ति इति मन्तव्यम् अतः ओदितश्च इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः अनन्तरं णत्वं भूत्वा व्रीण इति रूपम् टुवोष्वी इति धातुः अत्र टु अपि च ओ इति संज्ञकवर्णः श्वी प्लस् त इदानीं वचिस्वपि यजादीनां किति इत्यनेन सम्प्रसारणं यतोहि श्वी इति यजादिगणे अस्ति इति कृत्वा तत्र सम्प्रसारणं भूत्वा असम्प्रसारणाच्च इत्यनेन पूर्वरूपादेशः अनन्तरं हलः इत्यनेन दीर्घादेशः उकारस्य अनन्तरं ओदितश्च इत्यनेन तकारस्य नकारादेशः निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः शून इति रूपम् ज्या प्लस् क्त जीन इति अन्तिमं रूपं ज्या इति धातुः तत् ग्रहीज्या व्ययी वधि इति व्यधि इति अस्ति तर्हि ज्या इत्यस्य सम्प्रसारणं यकारस्य सम्प्रसारणं भूत्वा इकारः अनन्तरं पूर्वरूपादेशः अनन्तरं हलः इत्यनेन दीर्घादेशः अनन्तरं जी इति भवति तदनन्तरं ल्वादिभ्यः इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः ल्वादिगणे अस्ति इति कृत्वा निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः जीन इति रूपम् गु इति धातुः तस्य निष्ठारूपं गून इति तर्हि तत्रापि श्रुयकः किति इत्यनेन उगन्त धातुः अस्ति इति कृत्वा इण्निषेधः अनन्तरं ल्वादिभ्यः इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः तत्र एकं वार्तिकं पाठितम् अस्ति दुग्वोर्दीर्घश्च इति वक्तव्यम् इत्यनेन तत्र दुग् अपि च गु इति धातोः अपि निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः भवति इति कृत्वा गुण इति रूपम्। प्रतिश्यैक्त इति तत्र प्रथमम् अत्र अहं किञ्चित् दोषं कृतवान् इति चिन्तयामि। अत्र श्या इति प्रथमम् अत्र अनुबन्धलोपात् पूर्वम् आदेश उपदेशेषिति इत्यनेन आत्वं भूत्वा अनन्तरम् अनुबन्धलोपः, अनन्तरं प्रतेश्च प्रति पूर्वक शी धातोः श्यै धातोः सम्प्रसारणं भवति। अनन्तरं तत्र सम्प्रसारणाच्च इत्यनेन पूर्वरूपादेशः, हलः इत्यनेन दीर्घादेशः, प्रति शी त इति इदानीं निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः, श्योस्पर्शे इत्यनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः। तर्हि प्रतिशीन इति तत्र स्पर्शे अर्थे एव तकारस्य नकारादेशः भवति। तर्हि प्रतिशीन इति रूपम्।
अस्पर्शे अर्थे, स्पर्शभिन्ने अर्थे।
स्पर्शभिन्ने अर्थे। धन्यवादः।
Just 1 second, let me change something so that, okay, I'll fix it. That next line is going, one line is going on next page. I'll fix that later on. We can go ahead.
अभि अर्ध प्लस् त इत्यनेन अभ्यर्ण इति रूपम्। अत्र अविदूरम् इत्यर्थे तत्र अभ्यर्चाविदूर्ये इत्यनेन इन् निषेधः भवति प्रथमं। तदनन्तरम् अत्र इको एणचि इत्यनेन तत्र यकारः अभ्यर्ण इति। इदानीं रदाभ्यां निष्ठातो न पूर्वस्य तदः इत्यनेन तकारस्य नकारादेशः, निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः। अनन्तरम् अणत्वं रसाभ्यां नोनसमानपदे इत्यनेन, अनन्तरं ष्टुनाष्टुः इत्यनेन निष्ठानकारस्य नकारादेशः। इदानीम् अत्र णकार रेपः अस्ति, तदनन्तरं णकारः अस्ति, तदनन्तरं अन्यः नकारः अस्ति। हलो यमां यमी लोपः इत्यनेन हल् वर्णात् परस्य यं वर्णस्य तस्मिन्नेव यं वर्णे परे विकल्पेन लोपः भवति। तर्हि सः नकारः लोपः, तस्य नकारस्य लोपः भवति अभ्यर्ण इति। अत्र here I want to just point out, if you have abhyarna, you can get back that double nakara by achorahabhyam dve. So it was very fascinating for me that halo yami yamam yami lopaha is gets rid of the nakaraha, but you can also, if at all you have a form abhyarna, you can get it back by achorahabhyam dve. But both cannot apply.
Pointed out, let's go at halo yamam yami lopa. There are some more fascinating things about this particular sutram. I think I have written those. Look at this. So halo yamam yami lopaha basically removes a letter and then you can later on add that letter. So asya sutrasya bahushu udaharaneshu द्वित्व विधायकेन सूत्रेण कृतस्य द्वित्वस्य लोपः भवति. So maximum applications of halo yamam yami lopaha are so you already do a dvitva and then you get rid of the double letter, the repeated letter, by using halo yamam yami lopaha. So that's actually useless. Like for example, you start with shayya, you do shayya with a double year with anachicha and then get rid of that. Or you start with durlabha and get rid of and do a replication of lakara using achorahabhyam dve and get rid of it. So most of the applications of halo yamam yami lopa that you will see in prakriya are actually useless applications because somebody else has done dvitva and then that dvitva has been undone. But what we see right now, here in your answer, what we see right now is a place where a genuine example of halo yamam yami lopa is there. It's not a side effect of dvitva, but you first do halo yamam yami lopaha and then later on, if you want, you can or may not do dvitva. So one of the very unique examples, the one that I have added on the website at that point, is also similar. So one of the tadhita examples that I've added, if you add a niya pratyay to aditya, you get a genuine application of halo yamam yami lopaha without doing dvitva. So this reminds me that this is yet another example where a genuine application of halo yamam yami lopaha can be seen. I'll try to make sure that I copy paste this example also on the website for our future reference. Agri gacchama.
Okay. Struni iti dhatuः तत्र str इति दीर्घऋकारान्तधातुः अतः ऋत धातोः इत्यनेन इकारादेशः तर्हि स्थिर् इति अनन्तरं रदाभ्यां निष्ठातो नः पूर्वस्य च दः इति अनेन निष्ठातकारस्य नकारः हलि च इत्यनेन दीर्घः अनन्तरं णत्वं स्तीर्ण इति रूपम् बिद् इति धातुः तस्य निष्ठारूपं बित्त इति तत्र शकलम् इत्यर्थे बिद् इत्यस्य शकलम् इत्यर्थे रदाभ्यां निष्ठातो नः पूर्वस्य च दः इत्यनेन प्राप्तं नत्वं निषिध्यते तर्हि तत्र the takara does not become a nakara in when the artha is shakalam तर्हि बित्ता इत्येव खरिच इत्यनेन. Okay, the second part of the question, same, it is निष्ठा प्रत्ययरूपाणां ससूत्रं साधयत इति. मृदु इति धातुः तत्र मृद् इति अनुबन्धलोपे कृते यस्य विभाषा इत्यनेन निषेधः अनन्तरं जशस्ततोधोधः इत्यनेन तकारस्य धकारादेशः अनन्तरं जलां जश्चषि इत्यनेन दकारः जष्ट्वं मृद्धः इति. यज इति धातुः so this dhatu is familiar because the vachisvapi yajadinam is the yajadi dhatu is the first dhatu, so there it samprasaranam happens. अनन्तरं जकारस्य शकारः भवति व्रश्च भ्रश्च सृजय मृज यज that yaja is there, so because of that it becomes the jakara becomes a shakara, then vishtutvam ishta iti. Twakshu iti dhatuः दीर्घ उकारान्त धातुः क्षम्यतां दीर्घ उकार इत् इत्यस्ति धातोः त्वक्ष् इति धातुः अनन्तरं स्को संयोगाद्यन्तेर्च इत्यनेन ककारः लोपः भवति ककारस्य लोपः भवति अनन्तरं ष्टुत्वं भूत्वा त्वष्ट इति. ओव्रश्चु इति तत्र ओकारः अपि इत्संज्ञकवर्णः व्रश्च इति अनन्तरं वेश्च प्लस् क्त अनन्तरं ग्रहिज्या व्यहि व्ययि व्यधि पृष्टि विचति पृच्छति. The vrishchati is there, so because of that the samprasaranam happens. अनन्तरं स्को संयोगाद्योरन्ते च इत्यनेन सकारस्य लोपः वृच् प्लस् त चोहोकुः इत्यनेन कुत्वम् अनन्तरं निष्ठानत्वं कुत्वं प्रति असिद्धं. This one is I just have to explain. So the nishthanatvam is actually asiddham towards the kutvam because nishtadeshah shatva swara pratyaya id vidishu siddha vachyaha iti. So after this we get the natvam also, the takarasya nishtatakarasya nakaradesha api oditascha ityanena. अनन्तरं वृक्ण इति
तत्र किमस्ति सर्वप्रथमं तु तत्र वृच्छ प्लस् त इत्यत्र व्रस्ज भ्रस्ज यजराज भ्राज च सांशः इत्यनेन शकारादेशः भवितुम् अर्हति. So there is a vrascha over there, so ch will get converted to sh. So technically speaking, chohokuhu is not allowed to be executed over here. Look at two examples before. You have ija plus ta. There was a chakaran cha varganta varna, but we did not apply chohokuhu. We applied vrasja bhrasja sruja mruja because vrasja bhrasja is an apavada of chohokuhu. Therefore, when chohokuhu and vrasja bhrasja both are acceptable, you have to apply vrasja bhrasja. In that context, here at vrucha plus ta, we will be forced to apply vrasja bhrasja by blocking chohokuhu. But at that point in time, this swartika comes in picture. It says nishtadeshaha shatva vidhau siddhaha vachyaha ityukte nishtatakarasya adeshaha. This whatever further steps are coming up, nishtatakarasya adeshaha it will be seen by the Shatva Vidhi, which means that the Shatva Vidhi will come after the Nishthataka. This is a style of saying that first the Nishtatakarasya Adesha will happen and then Shatva will happen. And therefore Shatva doesn't come up over here. But if Shatva doesn't come up over here, the Utsarga which was blocked immediately comes up on the surface and say, I was being blocked purely for the Apavada. If Apavada is not going to execute itself, I will execute myself. And that Kutvam is Nishthanatvam is not visible to the Kutvam. So in this particular Vartika, there is Shatva, there is Swara, Pratyaya, Idvidhi, but there is no Kutva. So Nishtadesha Kutvam Pratitu Asiddha eva asti, which means that first you should do the Kutvam and only then you can do Nishthanatvam. Ataha atra choho kuhu iti kutve krute tadanantaram Nishthanatvam tadanantaram anatve krute vrukna iti siddhyati.
ओके, धन्यवादः महोदय। स्निह् इति धातुः तत्र वा द्रुहमुह स्नुः स्निहाम् इत्यनेन विकल्पेन ढकारादेशः। अतः अत्र स्नीड इत्येव रूपम् अपेक्षितं, तर्हि अत्र विकल्परूपं स्वीकृत्य वयं ढकारादेशं कुर्मः, हकारस्य ढकारादेशं कुर्मः। स्निड् प्लस् त अनन्तरं जशस्ततो दोधः इत्यनेन तकारस्य धकारादेशः, ष्टुत्वं ढकारः, अनन्तरं आफ्टर दिस whenever there is a two ढकारः we have to go till we have to go back dhode lopah, which we are going back in the tripadikaryam. Again from there we will jump into the sapada saptyadhyayi dralope purvasya dirghanah. So the shtutvam dhode lopah dralope purvasya dirghanah iti, this a triad, these three sutrams we keep jumping backwards and get sneedha iti rupam.
Very good. This is a pattern. So shtunashtuhu dhode lopa dralope purvasya dirgona. This is a, as you exactly mentioned, this is a pattern of three sutras that you have to memorize and apply as it is. You cannot directly apply dralope. It has to be number 3 in the sequence. You cannot directly apply dhode lopa. It has to be number 2 in the sequence, and the number 1 in the sequence has to be shtunashtuhu. So shtunash, I mean, it doesn't mean that if you apply shtunashtuhu, there is no need to apply dhode lopa immediately after that. You have multiple applications of stutvam which have nothing to do with dhalopa. But if you want to do a dhodhelopaha, it has to be done after stutvam, reversal number 1, and after dhodhelopa you have to do purvasya dirghanaha or sahivaho rodavarnasya 63112. That's step number 2. Agree.
रुह् इति धातुः अगेन होडः इत्यनेन हकारस्य ढकारादेशः, जशस्ततो दोधः इत्यनेन तकारस्य धकारादेशः, again the same shtutvam dhode lopah dralope purvasya dirghanah. So basically to get that dralope purvasya dirghanah you have to go through shtutvam dhode lopah and dralope purvasya dirghanah. That is the only route. There is no other way to get to dralope purvasya dirghanah other than applying no, repaha is there, rori is there, but after if you go through dhode lopah shtutvam dhode lopah dralope purvasya dirghanah, that is the route. Okay.
And there is no other route, and that is the only reason why reversal is even allowed. If there would have been a different route, then this we won't call it as ashrayat siddhatvam. Remember this phrase I've been using multiple times. What is ashrayat siddhatvam? The existence of this sutra is purely gated by the application of this sutra. If you cannot apply shtunashtuhu, dhodhelopa can never ever be applied, which means that if you are hell-bent on continuing with the Tripadi rule, then dhode lopa is useless because it can only be applied on shtuna after shtunashtu, but you are saying you don't want to go back in Tripadi. So that is called ashraya siddhatvam. Shtunashtuhu ityasya ashrayah svikriyate chedeva dhode lopa ityasya prasaktihi. Same dhode lopa ityasya ashrayah svikriyate chedeva dhalope purvasya dirgona ityasya prasaktihi. So the fact that you are allowed to reverse the Tripadi sequence is because this is the only acceptable sequence. Again.
Prach iti dhatuh. Prach grahijya vahi vyadi vrishti vichati vrishchati pritchati ityatah tatra samprasaranam bhavati repasya rkaradeshah अनन्तरं व्रश्च व्रश्च सृज मृज यज राज चषां शः इत्यनेन छकारः अस्ति महाप्राणछकारः, अतः तच्च शकारादेशः, अनन्तरं ष्टुत्वं पृष्ठ इति रूपम्.
Give me 1 minute. I think this prakriya is wrong, and same mistake we did in previous homework discussion, and I did not catch it because I was thinking about it. There is a sutra called Chvo Shud Anunasikecha. Chvo Shud Anunasikecha. This one. What does this sutra say? This sutra says that anunasikado pratyay pare jhaladau kingiti. So when you have a kta pratyay, which is jhaladikit pratyay, cha ityekasya satukasya shoot. So sha iti adeshaha bhavati. Now this is an angakarya and this has to be done earlier, which means that as soon as you have prucha plus ta, what you should do is prusha plus ta by doing a cho shudananasikecha.
Oh, okay.
And ironically, the same question came up in the previous exercise. Now I don't remember. I think Shivramji was explaining it, but I don't remember now. And the same mistake was there in that question, and I completely forgot explaining it. Somehow missed my attention. So here, thank God, this question came up again. So again, also go. Those of you who want to correct your homeworks, go back and check a similar question in the previous homework discussion. So prucha ityase sthane chvoho shudanunasike chaityanena prusha iti bhavati. Then you can go to this particular. So sh become ch by vrajja bhrajja because now sham is there. So shakarantasya vishayapi shakaradesha bhavati. So earlier, when this line was not there, you were talking about chakaramtasya vishay, so that is not correct. Angakarya will take the precedence. Sh will come, then sh. Rest all prakriya is correct. But this step was missing. And I did not catch it while reviewing your homework. Right now, when I saw this, the whole link got matched. Anyway, so you can continue.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Kshamyatam.
After that, brashcha idyanena shakarah anantram shtutvam prishta iti rupam. इदानीं बज् इति धातुः ओदित् धातुः तर्हि तत्र बज् इत्यनेन बज् प्लस्त चोः कुः इति प्रथमं बग् प्लस्त इदानीम् ओदित्यश्च इत्यनेन तकारस्य निष्ठातकारस्य नकारः भग्न इति दिह्
now here one point I wanted to note is that if Oditasha would not have been there, then because of this the g would have become k because of chartva. So thankfully, look at how brilliantly Panini has placed all these sutras. So chartva goes all the way in 8-4, and therefore chartva is actually asiddha at this particular stage. Chartva is not, I mean, you cannot apply chartva over here. You have to first apply nishthanatvam, so that okara present in the dhatu is extremely important. That ta will get converted to na, and then because it is na, you don't get chartva going ahead.
Bhakta, right?
It will be bhakta, correct. Okay.
Dih iti dhatuः tarhi tatra धादेर् धातोर्घः इत्यनेन हकारस्य घकारादेशः झषस्ततो दोधः इत्यनेन तकारस्य धकारः अनन्तरं जलां जश् जषि इत्यनेन दिग्ध इति रूपम् चक्षिङ् इति धातुः तत्र चक्षिङ्गः ख्याय् इत्यनेन ख्याय् इति आदेशः अनन्तरं ख्यात इति रूपम् अत्र किमपि नास्ति अत्र धात्वादेशः एव
उत्तमं सम्यक् धन्यवादः अग्रे गच्छामः we'll go to homework number there are a couple questions let me first take them so in bhittam shakalam there was a question what exactly is a shakalam so shakalam is pieces so having multiple parts or having multiple pieces that's the meaning. And in 8th example, there will be one more vikalpa. Yes, so he did mention that. So at this particular point in time, there will be a vikalpa with double nakara. So by achorahabhyam dve, we can do a dvitva. So, but I mean, the question was to derive abhyarana. So it's okay just to derive whatever is given. Okay, so with this, let's go to exercise number 87. Basavraju Portal Mahoday, let me just unmute him for a Sorry, Chandrasekharanji, you wanted to say something here.
We cannot apply achorahabhyam dve here because it's already asiddham. Yeah, hello, yamam yami lopaha. After that, achorahabhyam dve cannot come.
Yes, you are correct. I'm sorry. Basically, you might not apply hello yamam yami lopaha, giving rise to two forms. So you cannot go to abhyarana and then apply achorahabhyam dve, but you can choose not to apply halo yamam yami lopaha and then keep the double nakara.
Yes, correct.
So sorry. Thank you very much for catching that. Yes. So vikalpa is on halo yamam yami lopaha. Vikalpa is not for achorahabhyam. You cannot apply. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's go to 87. I'll be unmuting you. Namaste. You will have to unmute yourself first. Namaste.
Namaste.
Shriyate.
The first question is Nirdishtayoho Rupayoho Madhye Vidyamanam Prakriyabedam Ekavakyena Likata. First question is the difference between Chinaha, Chitaha. Chi dhatu occurs in three ganas. Chi chaye badiganaha, chi himsayam swadihi, chi nivasa gatiyoho tudadiganaha. Ete beha dhatu beha nishta takare pare. If the takara prayoga, ta prayoga is in the sense of bhava karmani, this bhava karmani prayoga happens with two sutras, nishtayam anyadarte and vakrosha danyayoho. With these two sutras, the anga will become dirgha. If dirgha happens, the nishta takara transforms into nakara. In the prakriya, that nakara becomes nakara atkup form nuvevaya piti sutrena. So next it becomes chinaha rupam bhavati. Chitaha tu na ante अन्यदर्थ भिन्नत्वात् तकारस्य नकारः न भवति. So तस्मात् चितः इति रूपम् एव सिद्ध्यति. Next question is grahanaha versus grataha. In this gandhopadane iti badiganasya dhatoho, this nuda vidonda tra gra hribyo anyatarasyam iti sutrena gra dhatoho nishta takare pare this takarasya nakaraha anyatarasyam itanena vikalpaha it gets vikalpa. So two forms are possible with gra dhatu, granaha and grataha. Again this now is transformed into nakara with rashabhyam no nak samanapada iti sutrena. Next द्यूतः द्यूनः दिवु क्रीडा विजिगिषा व्यवहार द्युतिस्तुति मोद मद स्वप्न कांति गतिषु इति दिवादिगणस्य अविजिगिषायाम् अर्थे निष्ठातकारस्य नकारः भवति. अन्यदर्थ I mean only विजिगिषार्थे निष्ठातकारस्य नकारः न भवति. So द्यूतः इति विजिगिषायाम् अर्थे एव takarasya takarah eva it remains same. In all the other meanings it changes into nakara. So these two forms are found like that. Dyutaha as dyunaha.
Just 1 second, let's go to that sutra 8249. Sometimes I was so avijigiyashayam arthe nishtatakarasya nakaradeshah bhavati. So vijigisharthe nishtatakarasya natva pratisheda. So this actually got me confused. So divo avijigishayam ityasmin arthe vijigisha ityasmin arthe natva pratishedha anyeshu artheshu natvam kriyate. I think what you spoke just now is exactly reverse. What is written is so vijigisha arthe nishtatakarasya natva pratishedha anyeshu arthe nishtatakarasya natvam. Anyway, or maybe I made a mistake in hearing, but this is correct.
Aknaha was aktaha. The anchu gato badiganasya dhatoho apadane artam vihaya takarasya nakarah bhavati. Apadanarthe tu takarasya takarah eva. Examples like udaktam jalam iti. So kupat udaktam jalam इत्यस्मात् सन्दर्भे तकारस्य तकारः एव अन्यद् भिन्न सन्दर्भेषु तकारस्य नकारः भवति। अंचो अनापदानि इति सूत्रात् सीता वर्सेस शीनः शैन् गतौ वादिगणस्य धातुः निष्ठातकारे परे श्यो अस्पर्शे इति सूत्रेण स्पर्शार्थे निष्ठातकारस्य नत्वप्रतिषेधात् शीतः भवति। अस्पर्शार्थे निष्ठातकारस्य नत्वं कृत्वा शीनः इति रूपं भवति। शकारस्य दीर्घः
So
शकारस्य
go ahead. Sorry.
This shine dhatuhu, so adeshe upadeshe, I mean adeshe that aikara becomes to akaranta dhatu. After that, with samprasaranam, that akara is replaced by ikara, and then that ikara is made to dirgha with halaha iti sutrena. So that sha is transformed into shi, and then by takara, shatakara, takaraha. So wherever there is takara, takara. Where there is no, I mean, where there is nakara, nakara bhavati.
Samyak. So I just want to give a quick background. Tatra, the answer sheet that he sent me initially was very well written, quite detailed. So he had all this description, plus he had a very tabular kriya for each of them. I only told him to remove that because the question itself said prakriya bhedam ekavakyena likhata. Now I want to give a little background on this particular. So why did I give this particular question? I could have actually told to write the prakriya in the normal style, the way we usually write, as we saw in the previous homework with the arrows. The reason is that if you look at any commentary, say Nyasa, Kashika, Kaumudi, or say the detailed ones, Padamanjari, Tattvabodhini, and so on, you will never see the commentary written in the style that we are writing. So they always write, the prakriya written in the style that we are writing. They always write the prakriya intermixed with the words and the sentences and verbs and nouns and so on. And therefore, sometimes this reading and interpreting the prakriya becomes slightly difficult. Even yesterday's class we saw when we were talking about Upeivan and Ashwan and Ucha and Ashta, Kashika itself had some 5 lines explaining the prakriya. I skipped those lines and actually showed the prakriya in the class. But eventually, when we start learning to read and interpret commentaries, we need to read sentences talking about the prakriya and extract the prakriya from it. And the best way to start doing that is to start writing such sentences. So if you start writing sentences that explain prakriya, then you will be able to read sentences written in Kashika which are explaining prakriya. And that was the motive behind this, that instead of asking you to write an actual tabularized or systematic prakriya, I wanted you to write the prakriya in a single sentence so that you get used to the style of writing, and then maybe when you start reading Kashika, Kaumudi, you'll be able to understand how those books also write the prakriya in the sentence forms. Agre gachamah. Second question, ekavakyena uttarani likhatam.
Okay. The first question is Nuda Vidonda Tra Gra Hribhyo Aditarasyam Asmin Sutre Kidrushi Vibhasha Asti. Asmin Sutre Ubhaya Vibhasha Asti. The first three dhatus, Nuda Vida Unda Itte, these three dhatus get Nishtatakarasya Nakaraha with Radabhyam Nishtato Naha Purvasya Chadaha iti sutrena. So this is Prapta Vibhasha. And the next two dhatus, Tra Gra, these two dhatus, actually, so these are Dirgha Akaranta dhatus, and there is a N letter, and there is Samyogadi. So Samyogade Rato Dhato Renvataha iti sutrena Nishtatakarasya Nakaraha Bhavati. So this also Prapta Vibhasha. The last sutra, last dhatu Hri, this is Samyogadi Envataha, but there is no dirgha at the end. So there is no sutra for, I mean, no sutra applies for this to give Nishtatakarasya Nakaraha. So there is no takarasya nakarah. So this is by this sutra takarasya nakarah bhavati. So apraptasya praptah nishatakarasya nakarah bhavati. So this is aprapta vibhasha. So in this sutra, likewise, prapta vibhasha asti, aprapta vibhasha api asti. So itasmad this sutra is ubhaya vibhasha asti.
Very well explained. Agreemam.
Okay. Yeah. Brashya dhatoho ta pratyaya krute nishta takaradeshaka kutvam kimartam na badate. Okay. This okay. Vuruk plus ta ityadra. This has already been explained by Neelajji and Chandrasekhar in the previous question. So, choho kuhu iti sutram, oditascha iti 8 to 45 sutram. I mean, this choho kuhu sutram does not see this oditascha iti sutram. So, asiddhatvat kutvam nishta takaradeshasya nakarasya nabadate. Okay.
So this I did explain earlier. I think it's clear to everyone that this is a weird relationship where utsarga is not visible but apavada is siddha. So the nishthatakara can block the apavada but not the utsarga. So this is okay. Ka plus ityate choho kohiti sutram prati oditascha iti asiddham asti atah tatra nishthatakara kutvam na badate. Third one.
संशयानः वृश्चिकः अत्र अनिष्टा तकारस्य नत्वं केन सूत्रेण भवति. सो शैन् गतौ इति धातुः शैन् गतौ बादिगणधातुः अस्ति. संशयानः वृश्चिकः, in this sentence there is no dravamurti sparshe, so there is no sha dhatoh samprasaranam, so dirgha shi. So by any sutra this sha does not become she. I mean,
That is correct. So if the samprasaranam happens, then shai becomes she, and then we probably need a separate sutram, shows, sparsha, and so on. But because in this case there is no samprasaranam happening, therefore shai becomes sha, or it earlier only becomes sha by adecha upadesheshiti, and therefore you can just do sanyogade dhato ratoryanvataha, sanyogade rato ratoryanvataha, and you can do the nishthanatvam. Correct. Agreemam.
उत्तमवर्णः इति शब्दः कथं साधु. ऋणम् आदमर्णे इति सूत्रे आदमर्णे इति शब्दः कालान्तरदेय विनिमयोपलक्. There is a transaction between two people, giver and taker. So in this kind of transaction, this is both giver and taker also fitted into this upalakshanarthe. I mean, when one is told, the other is taken into consideration also. With that meaning, runam adarne ityarthe adamarne. By saying adamarne, it is automatically uttamanaha is also included. That is called upalakshanartha. And also Panini Maharshi Daror Uttamanaha iti sutre, direct he uses the word Uttamanaha. So he shows himself that Uttamanaha is also sadhu word. So likewise this word Uttamanaha is sadhu.
So while this, there were a couple of comments which I could not reply at that point in time. I always read all the comments after the class, even if I don't reply them, I am unable to reply them. So somebody pointed out of a better meaning of uttamarana and adhamarana. I think it was you or Sadagopanji. I think one of like some 3-4, I don't remember now. The last 3-4 messages, one of them was this. So uttamarana, the donor is also called uttamarana, the receiver is called adhamarana, and this is always a pair. So when somebody receives, somebody gives. So in the class, I explained it as, it's a dukkham. So that is also acceptable. You also see that meaning in the commentary. But I think after I, look at that message, I think uttamarana and adhamarana, this meaning fits the context even more perfectly. Adhamarana is the one who receives, uttamarana is the one who gives, and that particular transaction, which has a giver on one side and a receiver on another side, there we will use the word runa. So, and of course, uttamarana word is also used in the Dhari Ruttamarana Sutram. So this way it can be justified. Agre, antimam.
निर्वाण अत्र नत्वं च काभ्यां सूत्राभ्यां भवति. निर्वाण that नत्वं निष्ठातकारस्य नत्वं निर्वाणो आवाते इति सूत्रेण प्रक्रियायाम् अग्रे that नकारस्य नत्वं कृत्यचः इति सूत्रेण भवति.
धन्यवादः. सम्यक् रूपेण उत्तराणि लिखितानि. I'll put this answer sheet along with others on the portal, and people can visit it. Thank you very much for volunteering. Okay, let's go to exercise 88. Before that, I think there is one question over here regarding the Pricha Prakriya. Let me take that sixth, in the previous homework, I think 87. No, here only. There's a here. So can we do chech over here? Of course, you have to do chech over here. So I completely forgot that particular point also. So first you do pru ta cha, and that actually you do even before the samprasaranam. So you do pru ta cha and you call it chech. So by chech, first you do the tugagama, then pra ta cha. Samprasaranam has not yet happened. So pra ta cha, it's an antaranga karya. It does not depend on anything. So technically, you are free to do prach all the way at the beginning of the prakriya also, because it is an extremely antaranga karya. It does not depend on any pratyaya. It has no external nimitta at all. So you always do a takara by looking at the swara that is before it, which is either a rasva swara or a dirgha swara. So it is perfectly okay if you say I'm going to do antaranga karyas in the beginning and do all the way at the beginning you do checha. But it turns out that there are some situations, ishu yamigamam chaha and so on, where the checha is actually required in the step of varna karya after anga karya. So in our flowchart or in our discussions, I prefer that we add it towards the end. But if you want to do it all the way at the beginning, there is absolutely no issue. But coming back to the point, yes, you do pra ta cha, then you do pru ta cha, and at this point in time, you do chvoho shudananasike cha. So the question is actually, if you do pru ta cha, can you still apply vrajja bhraja directly? No, because chvoho shudananasike cha itself requires the satuk chakara. So look at the sutra, it says chvoho, and if you go to the commentary, it will say satuk chakarasya. So it assumes that there is a chakara with a tugagama. So first you do the tugagama, which was missing. So thank you for catching that. So satuk chakara, you do the samprasaranam, and then you do the whole bunch. Ta plus cha gets converted to sh. And somebody is commenting. So that is why in some dhatu pathas the dhatu is given as pritcha. So in some introductory or initial dhatu pathas where people don't want to add additional complexity of aupadeshika dhatu and some other karyas, so people directly do ta, then they directly do cha also and give the dhatu, also do samprasaranam and give the dhatu as pracha or sometimes prucha, sometimes pracha prucha. So various combinations of this dhatu are given. That is all simplification. So while writing prakriyas, you have to start with pracha. But for example, when you're teaching some non-grammar classes or introductory Sanskrit classes, it's perfectly okay to say that the dhatu is pracha or pricha, because tugagama will always happen, shutvam will also happen, and therefore you can directly take it for granted in the introductory classes. Okay, let's move on to final exercise, exercise 88. I'll unmute Satish ji. Very beautifully written answer sheet. The meaning for this particular shlokam is, he has captured it very beautifully. Let me just unmute him. Namaste.
Namaste. Shruyate va?
श्रूयते श्रूयते।
आम्। प्रथमः प्रश्नः अस्ति, भर्तृहरिविरचितस्य नीतिशतकस्य अधोदत्ते श्लोके विद्यमानानां समेषां निष्ठान्तशब्दानां सिद्धिं विलिख्य श्लोकस्य आशयं स्वभाषया स्पष्टीकुरुत। एषः श्लोकः मया पूर्वं मम मातृभाषायां पठितः अस्ति, तत्रापि अस्य वर्णनमस्ति। तत्कारणेन मम श्लोकस्य आशयः मया पूर्वमेव ज्ञातः आसीत्। तत्र आशयः एवमस्ति, अत्र भर्तृहरिणा अन्योक्ति अलङ्कारः प्रयुक्तः अस्ति। इत्युक्ते मानवानां समूहे यत् प्रवृत्ति दृश्यते तस्यैव वर्णनं क्रियते, परन्तु वर्णने प्राणिजगति यद् भवति तस्य उदाहरणं दीयते। तत् प्रयुज्य अत्र लिखितमस्ति, अन्योक्ति अलङ्कारं प्रयुज्य भर्तृहरिणा नीतिशतके मानिनां मनुष्याणां स्वभाववैशिष्ट्यं दर्शयितमस्ति। उदाहरणमस्ति, कश्चित् एकः वृद्धः सिंहः अस्ति। पूर्वस्मिन् काले यदा सः शक्तिमान् आसीत् तदा स्वशौर्येण मत्तान् गजान् मृगयित्वा तेषां गण्डस्थलान् भुक्त्वा क्षुत्शमनम् इत्युक्ते बुभुक्षाशमनं करोति स्म। परन्तु इदानीं सः अशक्तः अस्ति, वृद्धः अस्ति, सः मृगयितुं न शक्नोति, सः वार्धक्येन इत्युक्ते जरसा कृशः जातः, विपन्नावस्थां प्राप्तः, तस्य नखानां दन्तानां च तीक्ष्णत्वं नष्टमस्ति, क्षुधा क्षीणस्य तस्य मरणमपि भवेत्। एतादृशाम् अत्यन्तायां कठिनायां परिस्थितौ सनपि सः वने वैपुल्येन उपलब्धं जीर्णं तृणं न खादति अथवा जीर्णानि पर्णानि न खादति। किमित्युक्ते सः वस्तुतः प्राणिशास्त्रस्य एतत् शास्त्रं प्राणिशास्त्रं पश्यामः चेत् सः मांसाहारी प्राणी तन्निमित्तं सः तृणम् अथवा पर्णानि न खादति। तस्य इच्छा एवमेव अस्ति यत् यथा पूर्वं मया मत्तान् गजान् एवं मृगयितव्यं, तेषां गण्डस्थलानि च भोक्तव्यानि। एषः प्राणिनां सामान्यव्यवहारः, परन्तु एतादृशं वर्तनं मानिनी मनुष्ये अपि दृश्यते। सः कस्यामपि घोरायां विपदि स्थितः अपि स्वस्य गरिमायाः निकृष्टं कार्यं कृत्वा जीवनं न यापयति। निकृष्टकार्यस्य कृते अपेक्षायाः सः मरणमपि स्वीकरोति, परन्तु निकृष्टं कार्यं कदापि न करोति इति सिंहस्य उदाहरणेन उदाहरति भर्तृहरिः। अस्य श्लोकस्य वृत्तमस्ति शार्दूलविक्रीडितम्। अत्र गण अस्ति म स ज स त त ग इति। एतत् यत् पदं तत्र दत्तमस्ति श्लोकस्य, तत् अहं तु न जानामि, नीलेश महोदयेन तत्र सूर्याश्वैः।
Yeah, I wanted to add, because you started with the alankara, so this is not mine. So anyokti alankara. So typically, yatra shlokasya varnam kriyate. A typical style is you first give the ashaya, then you give the chanda, and then you give the alankara. This is a common style. If ever we learn some kavya together, I'll explain that. But because you have explained alankara over here, I thought we'll also add the vritta. So Shardula Vikriditam, one of the most beautiful vrittas in Sanskrit language, the favorite test of all of Bhartruhari. Most of the shlokas, or a large number of shlokas in Niti Shatakam or the Shatakatrayam, are in Shardula Vikridita. So this is a lakshana. Typically every vritta has a lakshana. So Surya Ashwari Yadimas Sajau Satataka Shardula Vikriditam. So that's the lakshana of this. Typically Shardula Vikridita is very popular because it's very beautiful to sing that you take a break after say 12 and then take a break after 7. So that's what it says, Surya Ashwaihi. There are 12 Adityas and there are 7 Ashwas. So we know so sun's Ratha has 7 Ashwas. So then that's 12 and 7. So this is actually a code. This is actually a codified language. So it says After 12, you take a break, and then after 7, you take a break. And if you speak that, you will be able to very beautifully sing this. So, Sukshamopi Jara Krushopi Shithila Pranopi Kashtam Dasham. So, Shithila, here the first 12 letters end, and then you have 3 plus 3, whatever, 6 plus 2, 8. I think Shithila Pra, somewhere there it should end. So, the break is 12 plus 7 or 12 plus 8, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
So,
7 only.
7 only, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so this way you have to sing that particular shloka, and then it will be very easy to memorize. It will be very, very easy to recite. Oh no, my addition was wrong. Shuchamopi shithila, shukshamopi jara krushopi shithila. This is 12, 13. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So then 12 plus 7, 19. So each pada has 19 letters, and you take a yati after 12 and then after 7. So if somebody is asking, can you just recite the shloka? I have zero knowledge in singing, but I'll just recite it by taking the proper yati. And many of you, I mean, for example, Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. So all these are basically in the Shardula Vikridita. So Kshukshamo Jara Krushopi Shithila Pranopi Kashtam Dasham Apannopi Vipannadi Dhiti Rapi Praneshu Nashatswapi Matte Bhendra Vibhinna Kumbha Kavala Grasaika Baddhaspruha Kim Jirnam Trunamatti Mahatam Agresara Kesari. Or for example, Annapurna Stotram or any other stotram, whichever you, all these sutras are actually in the Shardula Vikridita Vritta. Okay, Agre Gachhamaha. Let's come back to Vyakaranam.
अस्मिन् श्लोके तत् निष्ठाशब्दान्तशब्दः के सन्ति इति प्रश्नः आसीत्। तेषां प्रक्रिया अपि लेखनीया आसीत् मया। तत्र क्षामः, कृशः, कष्टाम्, आपन्नः, विपन्ना, मत्तः, विभिन्नः, बद्धः, जीर्णः, एते शब्दाः निष्ठाप्रत्ययान्तः सन्ति।
So 1 second, let's actually show all these. So Kshamaha, so there is this Kshama. Jara Krushaha, so there is this Krusha. Shithila Pranopi Kashtam, so there is this Kashta. Apannaha, so there is this Apanna. Vipannaha, so there is this Vipanna. Praneshu Nashatswapi Matta, it is over here. Ibhendra Vibhinna, so Vibhinna is over here. Kumbha Kavala Grasaika Baddha is over here. Kim Jirnam, so Jirna is over here. Kim Jirnam Dronamatti Manamatam Agresara. So you can now explain. Writing Vruttis was a very difficult task. We did to and fro on this particular answer sheet for 3-4 times. So writing Vruttis specifically for ta pratyanta forms, it is very easy when it is a kartari, it is a karmani bhute ta pratyaya given by the nishtha sutram. But many Vruttis over here are actually in different sense. So they are in kartari, vartamani, kartari bhute. Most of them are also in kartari bhute. So then it was a little difficult to write those Vruttis, but we somehow managed. So means he managed somehow, not me. Okay.
No. I managed only because of you guided me.
Okay.
I was, I mean, that was the most difficult part in this this one exercise. Later on, once we apply the pratyaya, kta pratyaya, then the things fall in place very easily. But under what sutra we should apply the kta pratyaya, that is the most difficult part. And Nilesh Mohdaya helped me like a lot. I mean, I should thank him this one.
So it turns out that these ta pratyanta forms are so widely used in the language. I mean, that was the reason. Vritti is very simple actually, but ta pratyanta forms are used in so widely in the language that precisely finding the vritti that fits the given context is difficult. So just writing a vritti is very easy, but you have to look at the vritti and then go back to the shloka and see whatever. If you are writing a vritti in karmani bhute or adhikarane or say adhikarmani, is it actually fitting the original context? And if it fits the original context, only then you can write the vritti. Otherwise, you have to change it. Anyway, so prarabhamahe.
अस्तु प्रथमः शब्दः अस्ति क्षाम क्षुधा क्षामः सः क्षुत् क्षामः तृतीय तत्पुरुषः क्षुधा क्षुत् शब्दस्य तृतीय एकवचनं बुभुक्षया इत्यर्थः अत्र क्षाम शब्दः सिंहस्य विशेषणत्वेन प्रयुक्तः अस्ति अत्र कर्तरिभूते निष्ठा प्रत्ययः प्रयुज्यते अक्षासीत् इति क्षामः क्षयि क्षये धातु भ्वादिगणे अनन्तरं तस्य क्त प्रत्ययस्य वृत्ति 3/4 न प्रथमं
Let's first do ksha because this is आदेश उपदेश.
अशीति इत्यनेन क्षय्यत्यस्यक्षा भवति अनन्तरं वृत्ति अस्ति गत्यार्थ 3.4.72 अकर्मकधातु अस्ति इत्यनेन बहु सुलभं भवति क्षात भवति अनन्तरं क्षायो मह इत्यनेन तकारस्य निष्ठातकारस्य मकारः भवति क्षाम इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति अनन्तरम् अक्षासीत् इति क्षामः अहं मया तत्र सुबन्धप्रक्रिया अपि दर्शिता अस्ति.
So one thing to understand is kshayi dhatu is used in the kshaye. So it is akarmaka dhatu. Who is becoming weak or thin? So it is not the hunger that is becoming weak or thin. It is the siha that is becoming weak or thin, and it is akarmaka dhatu. So there is no karma happening over here. So siha, lion, is the karta, and siha is thin. That thin is the kriya. So tatra kshudha iti karanam asti. Kshudha is tritiya. It is the instrument of becoming thin. So kshudha kshamaha. He had a lot of hunger. Because of that, he became thin, or he became restless, or whatever. So kshudha or kshudhaya or bubhukshaya, kshamaha, sahaschuchamaha. So whenever you have an akarmaka dhatu, it is actually very easy. You can actually apply kartari bhute, as he said, and most of the places in this shloka where it is an akarmaka dhatu, blindly you can just apply kartari bhute and it will work. Next one.
द्वितीयः शब्दः अस्ति कृशः अत्र जरया कृशः इति जरा कृशः अत्र कृश इति दिवादिगणस्य सकर्मकधातुः अत्र कृश धातोः जरा इति कर्ता सिंह इति कर्म अत्र अतः कर्मणि भूते क्त प्रत्ययः भवति अकृष्यत इति कृशः कृशतनुकरणे दिवादिगणे अस्ति परस्मैपदी अत्र निष्ठा इति 3.2.102 सूत्रेण क्त प्रत्यय आगच्छति अनन्तरं तस्य अनुबन्धलोपं कृत्वा कृश प्लस् त अत्र बहु दीर्घं सूत्रमस्ति 8.2.55 तत्र इडागमः अपि निषिध्यते इडागमः निषिध्यते अनन्तरं इडागमस्य अभावे तकार अपि निपात्यते न तकारस्य लोपः अपि भवति परन्तु अत्र निष्ठाप्रत्यये तकारेण सह अ अक्षरमपि अस्ति केवलम् अ इति अवशिष्यते कृष् प्लस् अ कृष इति अनन्तरं सुबन्धप्रक्रियां कृत्वा कृशः इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति अकृष्यत इति कृशः.
Is that what we wrote in the beginning? Akrushyata. So now look at this particular prakriya. Krusha also again means too thin. But what is happening over here is it is sakarmaka dhatu, and therefore you can you will have a karma. So the one who makes krusha is the karta, the one who becomes krusha is the karma, because tanu karani is to spread in the sense even in either of the directions. So therefore jara, it is the vardhakya which is making the lion thinner or making the lion weak. Therefore now vardhakya is the karta, lion is the karma, and then krusha is the visheshana of lion. So it is a normal ta pratyaya used in the karmani sense. So karmani ta krusha iti atra shabdaha siddhyati.
So अत्र क्षयि धातु अकर्मकः अस्ति कृश धातु सकर्मकः अस्ति.
That's satyam. Therefore we have difference. Okay, third one.
अनन्तरं तृतीयः शब्दः अस्ति कष्टाम्. अतः कष्टां शब्दः कष हिंसायां वादी इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः अस्ति. दशा शब्दस्य इत्यस्य विशेषणत्वेन उपयुक्तः अस्ति. कष धातोः दशा इति कर्म जरा इति अत्र कर्ता अस्ति जरया कष्टादशा इति आशयः अतः अत्र कर्मणि भूतेक्तप्रत्ययः अस्ति किमित्युक्ते सकर्मकधातु इत्यनेन अकष्यत इति कष्टा कष हिंसायाम् अनन्तरम् अनुबन्धलोपे कष निष्ठा 3.2.102 इत्यनेन निष्ठातप्रत्ययः अत्र 7.2.22 कृच्छ गहनयोः कषा इति दुःखार्थे इण् निषेधः अत्र इडागमः निषेधः अस्ति अतः कष प्लस् त इति अवशिष्यते अनन्तरं टुनाष्टु इत्यनेन कष्ट इति शब्दः भवति अनन्तरम् अत्र जरा दशा इत्यस्य विशेषणत्वेन उपयुक्ता अस्ति इति कारणात् स्त्रीप्रत्ययः अपि तत्र प्रयोक्तव्यः अतः कष्ट प्लस् टाप् अजाते स्टाप् इत्यनेन कष्ट प्लस् आ कष्टा इति शब्दः अनन्तरं कष्टा प्लस् अम् कष्टाम् अत्र अमि पूर्व इत्यनेन कष्टामिति रूपं सिद्ध्यति अकाशित् इति कष्टा.
This is also akashata, it should be changed. See, this is karmani form, right? So you need the karmani form. Akash, it is a lung kartari. You cannot use that. So next one, apanna.
आपन्नः शब्दः अपि सिंहस्य विशेषणत्वेन कर्तृर्थे भूते प्रयुक्तः अस्ति अतः पदगतौ अपादि इति आपन्नः आपादि इति आपन्नः अत्र आ उपसर्ग आङ् उपसर्गः पदधातुः पद प्लस् त अगेन हियर I don't know here. I don't know why I applied 3.4.72 because the dhatu is sakarmaka. Gatyartha bhavati va.
Right? Gatyartha. So you have padagatau.
Ama. Padagatau artha gatyartha asti. Tad samyak asti. Pada plus ta anantaram radabhyam nishthato na purvasya cha daha ityanena पद प्लस् त इत्यस्य पन्ना इति शब्दं भवति अनन्तरम् आङ् उपसर्गेण आपन्न इति पदं सिद्ध्यते सुबन्धप्रक्रिया कृत्वा आपन्नः इति आपादीति आपन्नः इति पदम्.
So here you have kartrarthe bhute, so you can actually use lung lakar. That's what he has done. So apaditi apanna iti samyak asti. Okay. There is 2 questions. Let me actually take them earlier on krusha word. So somebody is asking, why can't we have siha as the karta for krusha? So it's probably because the meaning does not fit. Tanu karane, tanu bhave iti nasti, alpi bhave iti nasti, kshaye iti nasti. So tanu karane itself means that somebody is spreading or somebody is causing somebody else to reduce in size, and therefore the entity whose size gets reduced will not be fitting under the meaning of tanu karana. It will be fitting under the meaning of tanu bhava. So because there is a tanu karana and because there is a dhatu sakarmaka, therefore the person who becomes thin will be the karma of this. Because otherwise, if you take that as the karta, then there is no karma. I mean, Sinha becomes thin, there doesn't appear to be a karma over here. But the fact that Krusha Dhatu is Sakarmaka, you want some karta, so then you say old age makes the sun, the Sinha thin. So iti atra ashaya. Same answer. So there is another question. Can we treat this Krusha word as Acha Pratyayanta? So Krusha Dhatu plus Acha Pratyaya giving Krusha iti final form. Tadrusham na bhavitum arhati. Same thing because Acha is used in the Kartararthe sense. Kartari Kruta ityanena sarve pratyayah Kartararthe bhavanti unless otherwise indicated. So here Siha is not the karta of Krusha. Siha is only the karma of the Krusha, and therefore you have to apply karmani pratyaya. So kartari ach pratyaya cannot be used in this context. Great. Vipanna didhiti.
विपन्न दिधीति अत्र समासः अस्ति विपन्न दिधीति इत्युक्ते तेजः यस्य तेजः क्षीणः अभवत् तस्मिन् अर्थे विपन्ना दिदिति इति बहुव्रीहि समासः सिंहस्य विशेषणत्वेन प्रयुक्तः अस्ति। अत्र विपन्ना इति निष्ठान्तपदमस्ति, तस्य प्रक्रिया दत्ता अस्ति। अत्र व्यपादि इति विपन्ना पदधातु, सेम that whatever we have given earlier, panna, same thing, but upasarga v asti, so vipanna. And then since vipanna is the visheshanam for diditi, diditi is the didi dhatu plus ktin pratyaya. The word is strilingi, so vipanna plus tap iti vipanna, ajadyashta stap इत्यनेन टाप प्रत्यय विधेय तत् भवति विपन्ना इति।
One thing over here, actually,
Yes.
let me actually go back. So vipanna didhitihi, tetra kartari asti, to karmani pratyasi. We did not write that. But if we assume this is karmani prayoga, just to be safe, because you have used nishtha over here, 32102 nishtha, by the way. So if you use nishtha over here, so then vyapadi will be not correct. So vyapadyata, you have to use karmani form. Vyapadi would be kartari, right? And you're using nishtha, which is karmani. We have to match the vritti with the sutram. If the vritti is kartari, sutra has to indicate kartarikta. Nishtha is karmanikta. So you have to use vyapadi. We have to use vyapadi. Okay, agree.
मत्तः मत्त शब्दः भूते कर्तृकारके गजस्य इत्युक्ते इभस्य मत्तेभ, सो गजस्य विशेषणत्वेन प्रयुक्तः अस्ति। माद्यते इति मत्तः मदि हर्षे ग्लेपने च इति दिवादिगणस्य धातु, तत्र अकर्मक धातु अस्ति इति कारणात् 3.4.72 गत्यार्थ अकर्मक श्लीष and all that, very easy to apply. So mada plus ta and shvidito nishtayam ityanana isha dirgha idita dhatu asti, so shvidito nishtayam ityanana idagama nishedha bhavati. Mada plus ta anantaram kharicha ityanana dakarasya takara bhavati. Matta anantaram supratyaya mattaha iti rupam. Finally we get madhyati iti mattaha. अत्र एकः अंशः अस्ति, अत्र 8.4.55 अत्र रदाभ्यां निष्ठातः न इति दकार तकारयोः नत्वे प्राप्ते न ध्याख्याप्रुमूर्च्छिमदाम् इति निषेधः, अतः अत्र चर्त्वमेव भवति, न तु that रदाभ्यां निष्ठातः like भिन्न what we saw panna, that is not allowed here because of this nishedha dhyakhya prumurchimadam iti. That is one vishesh point here.
Here also I think we need to fix the vritti because you're using vartaman kala. Do you want a vartaman kala over here? Probably no, right? You're using this
No,
gatya.
in that case he's already become this one, so it can be in the bhut.
It has to be kala. So, and it is kartru karake. Amadya.
Amadyat.
You can see how difficult it is to write and come up with a precise vritti that matches the shloka. So we have actually some students of our class who are okay. I'll talk about that after this particular point is over. I don't want to disturb you. So you can go ahead.
Vibhinna vyabhidyata iti vibhinnaha भिदिर वृद्धादिगणस्य धातु भिद अत्र इर् इत् संज्ञा वक्तव्या इति वार्तिकात् भिद इति अवशिष्यते। अनन्तरं वि उपसर्गेण सह अत्र वृत्ति तु बहु सिंपल, तत् 3.2.102 निष्ठा। सो अनन्तरं वि प्लस भित्त उपसर्ग कृतन्तः गति समासः तत् विभिन्न इति। अनन्तरं त तथा द एतयोः रदाभ्यां निष्ठा नकारस्य तथा दकारस्य उभयोः नकारः भवति, विभिन्न इति पदं प्राप्यते। विभिन्न।
अत्र कश्चन प्रश्नः अस्ति, आपन्न विपन्न इत्यत्र पत्त पतति इति धातुः भवेत् वा? तादृशः न भवेत्। पत इति धातुः अस्ति चेत् तत्र नकारादेशः न भवितुमर्हति। रदाभ्यां निष्ठातुनः पूर्वस्य च धातुः, तकारस्य नकारादेशः न भवति, केवलं दकारस्य एव भवति। अतः अत्र पद इत्येव धातुः भवेत्। ओके, नेक्स्ट वन, 9th बद्ध. Did we mistake the numbering? 8th one, बद्ध.
बद्ध शब्दः सिंहस्य विषयत्वेन प्रयुक्तः अस्ति। अत्र समासवृत्तिः अस्ति, स्पृहया बद्धः इति। अबध्यत इति बद्धः, बन्ध बन्धने क्रियादि धातु। अनन्तरं निष्ठा प्रत्यय प्रयुज्यते 3.2.102। अनन्तरं अनिदितां हल् उपादायः किन्ति इत्यनेन नकारस्य लोपः भवति, बध प्लस् त इति अवशिष्यते। अनन्तरं झषस्तथोर्धोधः इत्यनेन तकारस्य धकारः भवति। अनन्तरं प्रथमधकारस्य झलां झषि इत्यनेन दकारः भवति। वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा बद्ध इति प्राप्यते। सुबन्धप्रक्रिया योज्य बद्धा इति शब्दः, अबध्यत इति बद्धः।
लास्ट वन, जीर्णं.
जीर्णं, जीर्ण शब्द तृणस्य विशेषणत्वेन प्रयुक्तः अस्ति। अर्थात् कर्तरीभूते क्तप्रत्ययः अजीर्यति इति जीर्णं। जृष् दीर्घऋकार जृष् धातु वयानौ दिवादिगणस्य। अनन्तरं अकर्मकः धातु अस्ति इति कारणेन 3.4.7 गत्यार्थक अकर्मक श्लीष श्लिङ् स्था। देन् जुष प्लस् त, अत्र जुरोः श्रुकः इति इडागमनिशा अन्ते दीर्घऋकारः अस्ति, या उक् प्रत्याहारे आगच्छति, अतः श्रुक इत्यनेन इडागमः निषेधः भवति। अनन्तरं दीर्घऋकारस्य ऋत धातु तथा उरण्रपरः इत्यनेन जिर् इति भवति, जीर्त। अनन्तरं सेम् दट् अन्ते र अस्ति इति कारणात् रदाभ्यां निष्ठातः न पूर्वस्य च दा इत्यनेन जीर्न। एंड देन् हलि च इत्यनेन दीर्घ जीर् इत्यस्य दीर्घः भवति, जीर् प्लस् न। एंड देन् रदाभ्यां नोणः समानपदे इत्यनेन जीर्ण इति भवति। जीर्ण प्लस् अम् जीर्णम्, अजीर्यत इति जीर्णम्। अत्र अम् प्रत्यय अतोऽम् इति सुप्रक्रियायाम्।
Agree. The next question. So let me just quickly mention this. So by looking at this particular exercise, we will get an idea of how difficult it is to write the krudvritti. I mean, derivation is simple. Writing the krudvritti or even identifying the krudantas in a given shloka and then fitting the vritti in that particular context, how difficult it is. And I'm very happy to inform that we have two of our very enthusiastic volunteers. We have Shri Lakshmi ji and we have Paresh ji. They have voluntarily taken the task of identifying all krudantas in entire Bhagavad Gita, and they have already started a few months ago. They are listing each krudanta. Paresh ji is also listing tadditas along with krudantas, writing a vritti of those tadditas and krudantas, and then writing a full derivation. So the task is extremely difficult, and both of these are going to learn a lot from this particular task. If anybody of you is interested in helping them out or joining those particular effort, is going to take multiple months to complete this, probably more than a year to complete this, because I mean, they keep on sharing some documents with me, just 5-10 shlokas, and they have so many new words with their vrittis and derivations written. So if anybody of you wants to invest your time, your energy into this, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll put you in touch with them. This will require significant amount of time on your part. So this is not for casual students. This is for serious students who can spend 1 or 2 hours every day for working out these forms from Bhagavad Gita, writing vrittis for them, and then doing derivation. So really, they have set a very good example in front of all of us. If anybody of you is interested, please reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with them. So agre gachhama, second question.
आदेशस्य एकैक उदाहरण अपादीति पन्नः निष्ठातकारस्य नकारादेशः अत्र अपादि इति पन्नः पदधातु. This prakriya we have seen in the beginning. Same thing is given here. Pada plus the main sutra here. How to apply kta pratyaya? So nishtha 3.2.102. And then takarasya nakara, dakarasya pe nakara, radabhyam nishtata nakara ityanena purvasya this.
These kind of questions are actually easy because it's just like you can write whatever vritti you want. So you can always fall back to nishtha, which is always your catch-all. Nishtha will always give a karmani bhute pratyaya. So you can always fall back to nishtha and then have a vritti which has a karmani bhuta kala, and then you should be set with all the prakriya. So writing vrittis for a standalone question like this is very easy, but writing vrittis as he has done in the previous question is really difficult, and a very nice attempt or very nice answers have been written over here. Agree. Second one.
Then nishtatakarasya vaikalpika nakaradesha avitta iti vinnam vida vicharane hridadi dhatu. Atra Nuda Vido, I mean, main sutra here is 8.2.56. Nuda Vidonda na gribhyo annatarasyam ityanena vaikalpika nakara adesha. I mean, we can get either vitta or vinna. So, and nakarasya nakara, the same radabhyam, but here anyatarasya, that vaikalpika nakara adesha asti. Anantaram Nishtatakarasya Nakara Nishedha. Same what in the earlier exercise we saw Shakalam Vittam. Same Nishtha Rupam. And same Prakriya here. Nothing new. So Bhida plus the, and it, instead of getting Radabhyam Nishtata Nakara, then we get 8.2.59 as Bittam Shakalam ityanena nakarasya nishedha bhavati Bittam ityeva avashishyate. So Shakalam Bittam. Anandaram nishtatakarasya kakara adesha बहु प्रसिद्धः शब्दः अशुषत् इति शुष्कम्. So shusha shoshane akarmaka dhatu asti. अतः सेम गत्यर्थ अकर्मक इत्यनेन क्त प्रत्यय विधीयते. अनन्तरं तकारस्य ककार 8.2.51 शुषः का इत्यनेन तकारस्य ककार शुष्क इति पदं सिद्ध्यते.
So ashishyat iti shushkam divadi asti kila. Shushkam. Agree. And you can use kartari over here because he is explicitly showing the dhatu as akarmaka and he is using gatyartha karmaka. So here you can have a kartari bhuta vritti. Agree.
निष्ठातकारस्य वकारादेशः अपच्यत इति पक्वम्. So डुपचश् पाके भुवादि धातु. तत्र सेम निष्ठा 3.2.0 इत्यनेन तकार आदेश निष्ठा तकारस्य विधानम्. अनन्तरं चोहोकु इत्यनेन चकारस्य ककारः भवति. अनन्तरं पचोवः इत्यनेन तकारस्य निष्ठातकारस्य वकारादेशः अन्तिमं रूपमस्ति पक्व. सो पक्व प्लस पक्वम अतोम इत्यनेन. निष्ठातकारस्य मकारः same this we have seen in that shloka earlier ksham. So kshay dhatu and prakriya we have seen at the earlier kshayomaha ityanena takarasya makara adeshah. निष्ठातकारस्य वैकल्पिकमकारादेश प्रास्त्यासीत् इति प्रस्तीम तै शब्दसङ्घातयो धातुः भ्वादिगणे तत्र धात्वादेशकारस्य सकारः भवति किं प्राकृतिककार्यमस्ति अनन्तरं स्त्यै प्लस् क्त सेम् अकर्मकधातु अस्ति इति कारणात् 3.4.7
You need to do Adesha Upadesha Shiti also over here or no? You will need to do Adesha Upadesha Shiti, right?
Oh, yeah.
So pra plus tya. Okay, and change pra plus tya and so on. So
No, anantaram samprasaranam bhavati stya prapurvasya tenana samprasaranam bhavati. Then that here I could not get from rasva e to dirgha e katham bhavati amna janami. Matra likhitam e to ikara to dirgha ikara nipatanam bhavati va kutrapi sutre nasti.
There is संप्रसारणे कृते हलः इति दीर्घः भवति किल हलवर्णात् परः तकारस् हलवर्णात् परः संप्रसारसंज्ञकः वर्णः गच्छति तस्य दीर्घः
परन्तु तत् ऋवोः हल दीर्घपूर्वः खलु
sorry what this is 642 right संप्रसारणं क्रियते चेत् यः संप्रसारणेन निर्मितः वर्णः अस्ति सः अङ्गस्य आगच्छति हल् वर्णात् परः आगच्छति चेत् तस्य दीर्घः भवति
I mean I tried to get that but I could not locate that this one.
And I must have completely missed up that line so otherwise I would have fixed it immediately.
Okay. अस्तु सो अन्तिमं रूपमस्ति प्रस्तीम अनन्तरं निष्ठातकारस्य लकारादेशः अफालित् इति फुल्लः सो इफल विशरणे द्वादिधातु अत्रापि अकर्मकधातु अस्ति इति कारणात् 3.4.7 गत्यार्ध अकर्मकश्लीषश्लिङ् इत्यनेन निष्ठाविधानम् अत्र अग्रे गत्वा तीच इति 7.4.89 इत्यनेन फल इत्यस्य अकारस्य उकारः भवति फुल्ल अनुपसर्गात् फुल् दीर्घसूत्र फुल्ल क्षिव कृशो उल्लाघ इत्यनेन तकारस्य लकारः निपात्यते वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा फुल्ल इति अफालित् इति फुल्लः इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यते निष्ठा इडागमाभावे निष्ठातकारस्य लोपः अक्षिविष्ट इति क्षिवः सो क्षिब्रु मध्ये भ्वादि धातु अस्ति अत्र अकर्मक धातु अस्ति इति कारणात् निष्ठाविधानं 3.4.7 इत्यनेन मया कृतमस्ति अग्रे गत्वा क्षिब प्लस् त इति अवशिष्यते अत्र यथा पूर्वं मया उक्तमस्ति 8.2.55 अनुपसर्गात् फुल्ल क्षिब कृशोल्लघ इत्यनेन सेट् सन् अपि इडागमनिषेधः भवति इडागमाभावे तकारस्य लोपश्च निपात्यते सो क्षिव प्लस् त सो इडागमनिषेधः निपात्यते इडागमाभावे तकारस्य लोपः अपि निपात्यते अग्रे केवलं वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा क्षीब इति रूपं भवति क्षीबः इति निष्ठातकारस्य अक्षिविषे here there is this one इडागमे कृते निष्ठातकारस्य इकारस्य च लोपः सो अत्र I mean we do first idagama then that e plus the that gets this one and this is a vaikalpik व्याख्यानेषु उपलभ्यते so kshiba plus ita so here अनुपसर्गात् फुल्ल क्षिब कृशोल्लघ इत्यनेन सेट् क्षिब धातु इत इत्यस्य लोपः इत in that complete e plus takar that इत इत्यस्य लोपः निपात्यते so क्षिब plus a So there are two routes to reach this Kshiba Rupam. Okay, one is you don't invite Idagama, and the Takaras also this one Lopa Kriyate. Anyasmin Marge, allow the Idagama and then remove E plus the. This is the second Prakriya Mohdaya has written.
So basically, both of these prakriya were shown on the slide. Either of the prakriyas is already given in Kashika. Both the ways it's possible to derive. So uttamam likhitam sarvam. Dhanyavadah. So that's it. Samapayamaha. Thank you for all the volunteers. Just a quick reminder that we have a few slots empty. Actually, all the slots empty. So we finished till this one. This Satishji finished this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different slots are empty for the next set. If anybody is interested, please sign up and then send your exercise answer sheets to me for verification. Samapayama Agrima Saptahe Niyamitharupena Kakshadvayam Bhavishyati. We'll start with the Vartamanadhikara. Shatru and Shanach Pratyayas. अष्टाध्याय जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. शब्द ब्रह्म समानाध्य कृतवान् योग लक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवादः.